Hello everyone, welcome back to Zalengam Media. Today in this video we will talk about how NSCN-IM is losing control over vast territory and Naga people trust. NSCN-IM leadership is now shrinking. Is this the end of NSCN-IM? Deepening cracks, defections, and Myanmar realignments. The National Socialist Council of Nagalim, Isak Muiva, widely known as NSCN-IM, has for decades been the most prominent and influential insurgent group fighting for the cause of Naga sovereignty. However, the tides seem to be turning against its once unified structure. Recent developments suggest the organization is suffering from deep internal fractures, factionalism, and a loss of authority over its widespread network, particularly in Myanmar. The disintegration appears to be hastened by the rise of splinter groups, shifting loyalties, and growing disenchantment within its own ranks. The rise of NSCN-IM and the beginning of factionalism. Formed in 1988 after splitting from the original NSCN, the NSCN-IM was spearheaded by Zalengam Media and Isak Swu. Their primary demand centered around the establishment of a sovereign Nagalam, an independent homeland for Nagas that would encompass parts of northeast India and northwest Myanmar. While NSCN-IM maintained a relatively cohesive structure through the 1990s and early 2000s, the emergence of competing factions and leadership struggles began to chip away at its dominance. One of the earliest indicators of discontent within the Naga movement was the formation of the NSCN-K Kaplang faction. This breakaway group aligned itself more closely with Myanmar-based Nagas, while NSCN-IM primarily retained its base in Nagaland and Manipur. Over time, more factions emerged, including the Zalengam United Front (ZUF), NSCN Reformation, and NSCN Unification or NSCN-GPRN/U. These splinter groups weakened the overall coherence of the original movement, particularly in terms of unified political negotiation and military operations. Hangshi Ramsan's defection and the Myanmar connection. The most recent, and perhaps most significant, blow to NSCN-IM's integrity came in 2024, when Hangshi Ramsan, also known as Hangshi Ramsan, a senior leader of the group's military wing, revolted against its leadership. Ramsan, along with 14 top military officials operating in Myanmar, accused Lieutenant General Anthony Ninkan Shimre, the NSCN-IM Commander-in-Chief, of strategic and ethical failures. This group of dissidents operated in Myanmar's Sagaing region, particularly the Tamu, Homalin, and Leschi areas, where the NSCN-IM had consolidated its operations over the years. Ramsan not only denounced Shimre's leadership, but also forged an alliance with a Myanmar-based faction to carry forward the Naga struggle, suggesting a significant realignment that challenges the IM leadership's legitimacy. The rift is also ideological. Ramsan accused Indian security forces of orchestrating a proxy war against the Nagas by leveraging Myanmar-based ethnic militias like the Kuki National Army B and other armed groups. He argued that this was being done with the tacit approval of NSCN-IM leadership, a claim that the group has vehemently denied. Rising tensions amid regional conflicts. The geopolitical dynamics of the Indo-Myanmar region have added more fuel to the fire. The ethnic conflict in Manipur and the military junta's crackdown in Myanmar have turned the region into fertile ground for armed insurgencies. NSCN-IM's involvement, or alleged involvement, in these broader conflicts has drawn the attention of national and international agencies. In late 2024, The National Investigation Agency, NIA, accused NSCN-IM's China-Myanmar wing of providing logistical support to banned Meitei insurgent groups such as the People's Liberation Army, PLA, and the Kangle Yaol Kanba Loop, KYKL. The NIA claimed that NSCN-IM was aiding these groups in infiltrating Manipur and executing sabotage operations. The insurgent outfit denied these allegations, labeling them vicious, and accused Indian forces of using the Kuki National Army and Myanmar's People's Defense Force, PDF, to orchestrate a proxy war against Nagas. Despite the denials, intelligence reports indicate that the NSCN-IM has taken advantage of the porous Indo-Myanmar border to regroup and create new infiltration routes, particularly during the peak of the Manipur crisis. This has led to further scrutiny and pressure on the group from both Indian and Myanmar authorities. Internal collapse, defections to rival factions. Perhaps most telling of NSCN-IM's downward trajectory is the continued stream of defections to rival factions, especially NSCN Reformation, or NSCN-R. In September 2023, Brigadier Folai Ponglaham, along with 26 armed cadres from the Myanmar-based NSCN-K, joined NSCN-R. A month later, Major General Tinkam Konyak and Brigadier Tampha Konyak led 12 more Myanmar-based cadres to do the same. These individuals issued public statements condemning the mindless killings among Naga brothers and praised NSCN-R leadership under President Wang Tin Naga and Atokilon Ser P. Tikak for their vision and unity. The growing confidence in NSCN-R signals a significant power shift in Naga rebel politics. While NSCN-IM had once prided itself on being the vanguard of the Naga movement, it now finds itself challenged not only ideologically, but also militarily by better coordinated and increasingly popular factions. The collapse of the one government, one taxation principle. Historically, NSCN-IM enforced the controversial principle of one government, one taxation across Naga-inhabited areas. This policy sought to unify the Naga cause under a single leadership and eliminate the influence of other factions. However, with the rise of competing groups like NSCNR, ZUF, and GPRN/NSCNU, the policy has effectively collapsed. Today, multiple groups levy taxes on the same regions, causing widespread discontent among the civilian population and local businesses. The erosion of this policy symbolizes the end of NSCN-IM's hegemonic control over the Naga resistance infrastructure. Instead of being the sole voice of Naga aspirations, NSCN-IM is now one among several claimants. A dramatic fall from grace. Myanmar as the new battleground. The increasing consolidation of NSCN-IM and other insurgent groups in Myanmar's Sagaing region has transformed it into the new epicenter of Naga insurgency. This shift underscores the waning control of NSCN-IM in its traditional strongholds in Nagaland and Manipur. With Indian security forces tightening their grip within Indian territory, these groups are seeking refuge and reorganization in the relatively ungoverned territories across the border. However, this development is not without its own set of risks. The military junta in Myanmar is unpredictable and increasingly hostile to armed militias operating within its borders. Recent crackdowns and skirmishes have demonstrated that even Myanmar may not remain a safe haven for long. The road ahead, an uncertain future. While NSCN-IM continues to assert its relevance, especially in ongoing talks with the Indian government, its credibility has taken a severe hit. The multiple defections leadership disputes, and military setbacks have exposed a group struggling to maintain cohesion and legitimacy. The current scenario reveals a fractured Naga insurgency, with various factions pursuing their own versions of sovereignty or autonomy. Instead of speaking with one voice, the Naga struggle is now represented by a cacophony of ideologies, alliances, and ambitions. As the group navigates the internal crisis and external pressure, the question looms: is this the beginning of the end for NSCN-IM? If the current trajectory continues, the answer may well be yes. The organization that once claimed to be the sole representative of Naga aspirations is today a shadow of its former self, beset by defections, rivalry, and diminishing influence. Sources: Deccan Herald, The Print, NDTV, The Week, Morung Express. Thank you for watching this video. Please make sure you subscribe Zalengam Media. Your support is crucial for our upcoming video.
Naga, Tong, Tugaya, Huibutan Tokire, Fusu Fubire, Sasimutan Dugum the Huibutan Bire, Nongmai Kabaga, a Koiloina Mabukun the Laganu, Haina Koibuloina Mabutan Tokire, Aduna Adu the Giekoi, Gentokle Haida Gauzik, Tonglang Akutpa, the relief Oina, Kunda Quila Kuna Lere, Kunda sing the Suo Sita Lady, Kunda sing the Suo Koibutan, welcome to Vire, Quisita Zik. Relief oina koi lei koi asigi thokiba thodok se amna pende haibudi koi pastor fobusu busu phajana mokoi se fubire ishor gi ming paire hairaga jisu christani haina moina panglaw lobase yam pende haibudi pastor fobusu fubang amba adugumba government adugumba nation ase karamba nation no kamaina moina tawriba mayam se yamna chumde haibase haininge moi lakpu matamde khoi su mokhoi bu request tawbani khoi wari saraga khoi chat so khoi chat ge haina haibani adu mokhoi ya bideta bide adum lakpu de adum khoi bu phuba haubane aduna asigi todok se yamna pende asigi concerned authority na su action lobby na bagi damak hak pastor possible new maina request tawjari. Thank you.